They cut Elvis Presley's microphone in the middle of the song. No warning, no explanation, just silence. For a brief moment, nearly 15,000 people thought the sound system had failed, but Elvis knew better, and what he did next wasn't words. It was something far more powerful. It happened on a humid summer night in July of 1974 at the Las Vegas Hilton. Elvis was in the middle of one of his most emotional performances, a slow, aching rendition of How Great Thou Art. The lights were low, the band was restrained, and Elvis wasn't performing like a star. He was performing like a man confessing something to God. The crowd was completely silent. Then suddenly, the microphone went dead. No echo, no reverb, nothing. At first, Elvis kept singing, out of habit, out of instinct, but within seconds, he realized what had happened. This wasn't a technical problem. This was deliberate. Backstage, a quiet panic had broken out. Colonel Tom Parker had been furious all evening. Elvis had gone off schedule again, ignored the set list, extended the gospel section longer than agreed. Parker believed gospel didn't sell drinks. Someone, no one ever admitted who, had given the signal, cut the mic, teach him a lesson. End the song. From the audience's perspective, the sound simply vanished. But Elvis didn't stop. He stood there, center stage, singing with no microphone, no amplification, no safety net. Just his voice. Raw, unfiltered, human. At first, only the front rows could hear him. Then something unexpected happened. People leaned forward. The room went still, and slowly, the sound began to carry. Not loudly, but clearly. Elvis looked out across the darkened auditorium. He didn't wave, didn't signal, didn't ask for help. He simply placed one hand on his chest, closed his eyes, and kept singing. That's when the crowd understood. This wasn't a malfunction. This was a moment. Mid-video retention hook, 3 to 4 minute mark. Let me ask you something. If someone tried to silence you in front of everyone, would you fight back? Would you walk away? Or would you do what Elvis did next? Because what he chose changed the room forever. As Elvis continued, something remarkable happened. The audience began to sing with him, not because he asked, but because they felt invited. Row by row, section by section, thousands of voices quietly joined in. The microphone was off, but the message was louder than ever. Backstage, technicians froze. Turning the microphone back on now would expose everything. So they waited, and Elvis kept going. When the song ended, there was no dramatic pose. No bow. No anger. Elvis simply opened his eyes, looked toward the sound booth, and nodded once, not in defiance, not in victory, but in understanding. Then he stepped back from the microphone and walked off stage in silence for nearly 30 seconds. The arena didn't react. Then the applause came, not screaming, not hysterical, deep. Respectful. The kind of applause adults give when they've just witnessed something real. Backstage, Colonel Parker was livid. You embarrassed everyone, he snapped. Elvis didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't defend himself. He simply said, they didn't come to hear a machine. Colonel, they came to hear me. And that was the end of the conversation. Here's the part few people know. From that night on, Elvis insisted on something new in his contracts, a clause that gave him full control over live sound during gospel performances. No explanations. No speeches. Just a quiet boundary. That was Elvis's revenge. Not loud, not cruel, but permanent. This is where the moral question lives. Was Elvis right to defy control? Or was the system right to try and manage him? There are no villains shouting here, only people making choices, and a man who chose dignity over dominance. Years later, a stagehand from that night said something unforgettable. When they cut his mic, they thought they were taking power away, but power isn't volume. Power is conviction. Elvis Presley didn't respond with words. He responded with presence, with restraint. With faith in his own voice, and in the people listening. And maybe that's the lesson. When the world tries to silence you, you don't always need to shout. Sometimes you just keep singing. If you enjoy these untold moments, the quiet ones history almost missed, take a moment to like this video and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, if your voice was taken away, what would you do next? because some responses echo longer than sound ever could.